Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please roll over the like button and subscribe. Today is very exciting as we'll be going over the newly opened sections of the Eastrail Trail here in the Bellevue area. This is part of the 2.5-mile connection that's supposed to connect Bellevue to Renton. And this is not all of it, but this is just slightly more than half of the trail that is to be opened and connects from Coalcreek Parkway to Hazelwood. And that section that you saw there just previously on the screen to the right that's closed, that's a bridge that will eventually connect to the Bellevue Eastrail sort of sections, but that work isn't planned even up to 2026, so I wouldn't expect it to open anytime soon. And to speak about the intersection I was at before at Coalcreek Parkway, that's that this trail will connect up with the old trail that leads you up to 118th Avenue, which lets you ride up towards the I-90 trail or the towards downtown Bellevue. You could also head downwards on Coalcreek Parkway towards Factoria and the such. So riding along here, this is going to replace an existing parallel Lake Washington Loop Trail that I've made a video on before. This trail offers really two really good improvements to that previous trail. One being that the gradient is a lot more flat, so it's definitely going to be a lot more accessible to other people. And there was a steep section closer towards Lake Washington Boulevard that you sort of had to watch out for oncoming cars. So this actually is much safer, as well as the improved tarmac. As the old trail, a lot of the trees roots introduced a lot of bumps, which were fine, definitely for most people, but sometimes I think they can pose a little bit of a hazard. So here on the sides, you can see that this is still sort of a work in progress with some of the railings not fully installed yet. And at this intersection, you can see some of these stop sign installations I don't think are the permanent ones yet. So I would also watch out for that as both the pedestrians and the drivers learned about this new trail. Give them some patience and keep an eye out. But it's really exciting as I still think this is a lot more accessible and a lot more straightforward for a lot of people doing the Lake Washington Loop that this will be a part of. And as we see here, this section of trail used to be just a loose gravel sort of dirt trail. So now it's, as you can see, it's all paved. I think some of these island barrier cones aren't installed yet, but in general, especially for me as a road rider, this just makes it all that more accessible to use. And I think it's really great. And for the same couple reasons before, the main road does have a lot more gradient to it. So when this was closed and you had to detour on that, I think it wasn't as easy a ride. And also, this is also much more fresh and smooth tarmac, as well as just like a straight path towards the Renton area. Though, as I mentioned earlier, not all of the 2.5-mile connection is opened here and today. The rest of it is still sort of slated now for the late summer and fall due to some design complications, and I'll include a link below sort of indicating what section that is. But what that will mean is that there's still the old existing Lake Washington Loop Trail that connects you towards Ripley Lane and closer to VMAC that will still be in use for a good while until that section comes online. But so far, I'm really loving this new section of trail. As you can see here on the right, you get a much more intimate view of Lake Washington, and just gets you a lot closer and to the action, to the views. So I think this being part of the Lake Washington Loop in the official pass, I think this would be one of my favorite sections, I think, coming up, having ridden it a few times. But anyway, continuing along here, there's also going to be some new developments for the East Rail Trail coming up in Woodinville that will connect it to the Cross Kirkland Corridor Trail. So I think that in that news, I will also make sure to give you guys the latest updates and give you a fresh look as soon as it's online. But in terms of this trail, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you ride it? And how often do you do the Lake Washington Loop? Because this is going to be, I think, a very sweet part of it. And as we continue along here, we're eventually going to hit that detour, as I mentioned, that will bring you back onto the existing Lake Washington loop. So I'm hoping that will come online sooner than later. But as I said, it seems to be currently slated towards the summer/fall timeline. And I think another thing to note here is also with the using this trail, it does expose you to a few more crossings of cars that need to head towards their residences. So I watch out for that as opposed to the old path of riding on the road where that wasn't as much a concern. So coming up here just now, we're going to see that trail closure sign, and that's going to be the rest of the connection that gets you right to the VMAC, right near Ripley Lane. And you'll make a left here coming up and then onto the trail to continue onwards with the Lake Washington Loop. But that's all I had for this video. I hope you guys would really enjoy this new section of trail as I have. And yeah, please let me know any of your thoughts. But thanks so much and see you guys soon.